I played Dying Light for 4 hours. That's not even 1% of the total.
Let's go past the first part of the tutorial. That was
I didn't even get past the first menu. Everything is so grindy.
$80 well spent. That's amazing. That's
To begin the game, press start button 2,000 times. The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
All right, so often I like to try to surprise Jeff with a dad pun at the beginning, but Jeff surprised me this week.
You're rubbing off on me.
Yeah, it's happening. So we had a post. I put something up where I was doing some exercises. We were just wrestling with the kids, and it's like, hey, like Dad, like do push-ups with us, do push-ups. So it's something we'd kind of done before, and so they get on my back, extra weight, and do some push-ups. I thought, like, it's kind of a funny moment, so I'll share it onto Twitter. I was a bit reserved because it was like, I didn't want it to be like braggadocious, like check out my gun, like
check out my
look
body,
how strong I am.
That's right.
But at the same time, I thought it was just funny and hilarious, like have him on. So we're watching the video, Jeff, and what pops into your head?
I mean, I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but sun's out, guns out. I mean, that's sun's out, perfect with the kids on your back, everything.
Again, for listeners, the video is me doing push-ups, and both of my sons are just riding on my back. And the comment base at the time was like, as the kids grow older, hopefully I'll grow stronger, and I can keep doing this type of exercise. Jeff takes a look and nails it. Sun's out, guns out. We have, of all of our followers on Twitter, of all the gaming dads we interact with, not a one got that until this moment.
We need more dad jokes. We need to pump this up, and we need to have them faster and get them in these posts.
Gaming dads, come on. Like, that was sun's out, guns out. It was right there for all of us, and we all let the post down, I think. I didn't get that one either. So sun's out, guns out. Oh, it would be fun. I would be curious to, like, how long could I do it? Because I'm at the age now, I'm 30.
Hold on, carry the 3.
The number is just so high. It's hard to do the math. I'm 38. So, like, I'm very much going to be starting. It's all a downhill at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm in the future. I'm 39, so it is downhill.
Yes. Oh, it doesn't get any better at 39,
No.
Is what you're saying?
No, okay. That's it.
So done. But if I did this every year, the problem is, like, they're shooting up like tanks, right? They're just like blowing out every year, growing up so fast. My oldest is like 50 pounds now.
Yeah.
So if that keeps happening, like where does that trifecta meet? Like, when does it come? I'm old and tired. I can't do this. And my son is just big and huge because he's growing fast. I wonder, could I even pull this off in 2 years' time when I'm 40?
You could try, or just start again, right? And then you have you have a smaller one that you can put on your back.
Go with the little one. Yeah. Give up on the older one. It's going to be one son only.
That's it.
But yeah, maybe that's a new monthly or weekly challenge to see if I can still pull it off. See how long we can do it. Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
Jeff with the win. That's fantastic. Quick thank you. We want to give a shout out. We got a number of reviews come in this week. And as we mentioned before in the last couple of shows, this year we're really trying to reach out to a brand new audience and increase the signal of the show. What really helps with that is ratings, reviews, and comments on Spotify, on iTunes, across anywhere you can. It really helps with the show. We really appreciate it. A number of gaming dads have come through, and we can't thank you enough. Me and Jeff see it, and our hearts explode. It's amazing. So we got one this week from T-Gay, and that's Tegaey. It's from a little while ago, but wanted to call it out. Fellow dad just trying to game. As a new dad trying video games into life, bring video games into my life, we'll say, I'm really, really glad that I ran into this show. They put together a really great show here and do a great job getting listeners involved through questions and answers. Dads, give this a go. Man.
Perfect.
T-Gay, thanks so much, man.
Yes.
As we said, too, if you do leave a comment, like, reach out to us on Twitter so we can promote if you have a gaming dad stream, if you have a small little dad business, like, what else in between. We'd love to do so. And connect with us as many gaming dads. Appreciate the reviews and the likes.
Yeah. Great to hear.
Yeah. Now, those two scamps that were on my back during the push-ups, wonderful as they were, they did not do so well this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bound to happen, right? I don't know.
Yeah. They lost their video games this week. Just flat out, okay, you guys are done. No games this week the way you've acted. So some of the story, unfortunately, they're in virtual school this week. Mm-hmm. Supposed to go back next week, so it's kind of a short-lived thing. I will say virtual school, as many dads at home, I'm sure, have experienced, awful. Like, it's really bad. And especially for a 4 and a 6-year-old.
Oh, I don't know how you do it. There's no way.
Yeah, hey, 4-year-old boy, sit quietly in front of this screen for 6 hours and like try to pay attention. Like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So I get it. So like, I have a fairly high tolerance for what they can get away with, because it's like, you know what, buddy, this sucks. This is so antithetical to how you should be learning that there's going to be a lot of give here as we try to sort this out.
Right.
At the same time, that doesn't extend to him yelling at his mom and slamming the laptop close on his teacher.
Oh my gosh.
The teacher asked my son to do something, and he's just like, just close the laptop.
Oh my god, that's the equivalent of just like slamming the classroom door, like walking out. Just nope.
The teacher asked you to come to the front and spell, and you just stand up and leave the room. Just like, that's the equivalent of what he did.
Oh my god, did you see it happen? Did you laugh? Because I would be so hard pressed not to laugh.
I wasn't in the room. I was working, but I heard the result of that situation.
Oh no. Okay.
So I very much knew about it. I'm glad I would probably start laughing, because that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But obviously, facing him, no, like that's you don't do that. This is awful. So no games for the week.
Whew, that's a long week. I don't know how you.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt him bad. They were not happy.
No.
So, that's one of those things that they really look forward to every day. Is that kind of like gaming session, blow off some steam, have some fun, get into their Minecraft, get into their Garden Warfare, whatever they're playing at the moment, and it was super effective. Have you found it to be particularly effective as a discipline tool?
I think I found it probably effective temporarily. Like, it's like a temporary, like, I'll do whatever you say to get my screen back. But
I'll mow the lawn, I'll plant new trees, I'll take down the current trees.
You want me to do your taxes? I'll do your taxes, whatever I need to do.
That's how I got audited.
Like, they'll do and say anything, which is, that's not the point. We're not trying to, like, well, it's not it is punishment. It's a consequence, right, of their actions. Mm-hmm. So they realize that at the, like, when it happens. But then I don't know if it ticks through their heads the next time. Like, maybe it's less because we haven't seen the same actions that result in getting their screen time revoked. But it still happens, right? Like, they're obviously still going to make mistakes. So effective temporarily, I think. And like I said before, it is like a punishment on you. Just the amount of, like, I don't know. It's just a whole different child because they're used to, like, a habit. And again, with COVID, it's not fun for them. So to come in and, do some screen time, even go online with their friends and stuff. It's hard when I could see them just bouncing a ball against the wall in the corner and just like, that's all it is all day. Yeah. So it's hard.
I imagine that's true for any type of punishment, is that in truth, it's kind of a punishment against you, the parent, as well, because you can't do this thing is just the invitation for them to ask to do that thing constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the next week, however long it's going to be. Can I do it now? No, you have lost it until the weekend. Can I do it now? Why? What did I just say? It's like, did I stutter? Like, what was that
exactly?
So it certainly is I can recall sometime, like, we were trying to do some renovations in the house. Painful as all get out with two young ones in the house.
Yeah,
and they're kind of quietly watching a Minecraft video, and you're like, you know what? Good. Like, we need an hour to be able to focus. So you guys are occupied. This is great.
Yeah, and
then they'll do something. And there's a part of you where it's like, ordinarily, that's a screen loss offense.
Right.
Under normal circumstances. but I need you to not be here right now.
Yep.
Like I need you to be focused for a bit so like we can get this work done. So we're gonna kind of just let that one slide quietly.
Yeah,
Unless
I can totally relate to that. When like with the renos, we had to redo our basement, just putting in flooring ourselves, and it took a while because we were doing it ourselves and learning about it. But when you get rid of a whole floor that they use and they're shoved upstairs with you, and it's just like, oh my god, all right, well, fine, I'm gonna let these slide. You can do your little screen time. I guess at that time it was a 3DS. Fine, whatever. I just don't need you in my hair right now. So
yeah, you need to be occupied, and
yeah.
there's laws about you being outside for too long. So
That's right.
which we'll actually cover a little bit later in the show. But now, you yourself have not. You've had an interesting go recently with your kids and being able to play games with them.
Yep.
So, what was that all about? Why don't you describe what's happening?
So I was in a good phase of gaming.
I had it all,
madness.
damn it.
I had it all. I was at the top, and I could game with my kids. They wanted to game with me. We had family gaming time. There's a lot of they're deep into Minecraft. We all played with that online together. It was great. And then this past weekend, they go their separate ways and they don't need me anymore. It's like, what? The golden age is gone?
Well, so soon?
What are you talking about? But yeah, they all this week, instead of coming to ask if I wanted to play with them or like let's play the PS4 together or whatever, it was silence. Look at me, and then they would go. One would go downstairs in the basement, the other one would go upstairs into their room, and they would play with their friends online, which I guess is fun. Like, I'm happy for them, but then like it leaves me out in the cold. Like I thought we were gonna play. This was kind of our time.
I'm just picturing you standing in the hallway with a 3DS in your hand. Like, what about me, guys?
Just slowly closing it down. Like, I guess not. That's it.
Mario inside the 3DS, like you can just hear him calling it, but it's a me, Mario. It's a close.
Go. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. So it's probably just a hiccup. I'm saying it's a hiccup. It's going to come back full force. But I enjoyed our time together gaming, not all the time, because like a lot of the time I wanted to do other stuff. But now that they maybe they took the hint and they're off doing their own thing without involving me, but now it's just like, oh wow,
what have I done?
I don't like this. I don't mind you guys playing with me. That's great. And then you go to bed and then I have my game time. It's good. Let's go back to that. So hopefully the golden age is not over. And it's just like this little bump in the road. In the gaming dad road.
God, that's sad because I've very much entered an amazing phase. Like I love how much they want to play with me and just hang out with me. Like it's and I'll be honest. Like I don't know if it's just because of this show and how much I've talked to you and like you're forging the path for me. But I'm being very present in the fact like this is awesome. They like me. They want to hang out with me. You know, you get to be that like dad idol at this point, which is it's a very narrow point of time because like friends are coming, like replacements are coming. And I don't want to put that on you. I don't think that's happening to you yet. I'll agree. I'll keep that positivity.
Right.
But even still, like in future, there will come a time when they much prefer to be with their friends than with you, which is normal. That's natural. That's what we all did. But now being on this side of it, like, so we did that as kids at some point. It's like, no, I want to be with my friends. I don't want to be with my family.
Right.
But now we are the family about to be rejected for friends.
Yeah.
It's a very delicate time, isn't it?
It's a hard pill to swallow because that's where my mind goes is like, oh no, they're growing up. You know, my son is 11 turning 12 this year. He's getting to be a teenager, right? So he's going to want to do this more often. So much like you're saying, live in that moment and drink it all in because you never know. You never know when you have those gaps in time and then like you don't get that for a little bit and then it comes back and, you know, I guess you can't experience the highs without getting into the lows. I don't know.
Can't experience sweet without the sour.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just a little bit of a hiccup. I think they're going to come back, but right now they're interested in other things.
I am curious about that as they get older. Very, very interested, honestly, as far as they get into the 16, 17, maybe even like 2022,
Mm-hmm.
is there examples where kids of that age would still log onto a server with their dad somewhere and play? Like maybe it's something a bit more advanced, like, okay, let's hop on a match of Halo or Horizon or Call of Duty, like whatever, Fortnite.
Yeah.
Is there like a second coming of it? Like, so like there's the initial kid enthusiasm for games, hooray, like let's play with dad all the time, this is wonderful. And then you get cast aside, and then like, does it come back around? Like, I don't know that that's something I certainly didn't experience with my dad because I'd never played games with him.
Yeah.
And I think internet gaming was kind of its infancy when I started to get into my 20s.
Yeah.
So that I don't imagine you had experience online gaming with your dad at all.
No, I was the same way, and my dad wasn't into any of the gaming like that. So it was. I will tell you how it is because I will be a couple years ahead, and if it happens, I'll relay it back.
Good. But, hey, gaming dads out there, if anyone, so lots of big gamut of it. Are you in the sweet spot? Have you just gotten out of the sweet spot? Are you in the desert? And of no gaming, is there a light at the end of the tunnel because you have an older dad? We'd love to hear from you. That's newdadgaming.com, or reach out to us on Twitter at newdadgaming. Let us know your gaming dad story. Now, one game you are succeeding with in your household, Jeff, is the game that's taken the world by storm and the Jeff household,
yes.
Wordle.
Wordle.
Great name. I'm kidding.
Who hasn't heard of this game?
I only heard of it because of the controversy where the App Store was just flooded with 1 million copies of the same thing.
Right.
Which apparently they rectified, which is kind of nice to see from a developer standpoint. I think they got rid of all the copycats, which is nice. Yeah. But the Wordle has taken your house by storm, it seems.
Yeah, this is one thing that I think the kids, it's an easy enough game to get into. For anyone that doesn't know, it's basically like kind of a take on Hangman almost. You get 6 tries to figure out a word that's 5 letters, and each day everybody gets the same word. So then that's it. Then you have to wait until the next day. So it's something that we did in the mornings. So when they're waiting for school, virtual school to start up, and when I'm trying to get ready for work, it's a good kind of like brain teaser that we can all participate in. And everybody, it's really accessible because it's just online, right? So you can go to any web browser and do it. So the kids have old phones of ours that can access this, and everybody is in a family chat. And when they go through their Wordle of the day, and my 8-year-old can struggle a little bit, but he has fun trying to guess what the word is. Like with those 6 chances, it kind of highlights what you're getting right and what you're getting wrong. And then you can message along your solved puzzle, and it blanks out all the letters with squares, so nobody knows what the word is. And we're having a blast doing it. Now, it lasts all of like half an hour in the morning, but it's half an hour every day. They run downstairs and hope that they've plugged in their phones to their chargers, and they want to get on and solve it. And so this is where the con of it is that my 11-year-old solved the puzzle way before me.
Oh, no.
And he messaged out to the group, the family chat, I got it in 3 tries, which is insane, by the way. That is nuts. So I, as a father to him, I can't be beaten by 11-year-old on basically Scrabble. Like, I know more words than him, so I should get this, right? So that, to me, has put the pressure on myself a little bit. But I'm willing to give him the wins when he deserves them, for sure. As long as he's not Googling it. Because you can do that. So I've checked his history, and he hasn't been Googling it. So he's legit. So that's one thing I can check up on.
I just like it where it's that's awesome. That is so cool. You all get to play a brain teaser. It's a bit of routine because it shows up once. There's a bit of challenge and rivalry going on. And it's wordplay, puzzle play, wordplay, association, like trial and error. There's a lot of cool things about that. I love when these type of ones sneak through the crack and it's, there might be some education in it.
Spelling? Are you learning spelling?
No. I'm
absolutely not.
God, I keep wanting to bring up, download, was it Type of the Dead or Type the Dead?
Oh, yes.
That's not the right title. Do you know the title of it?
Yeah, it was, I don't know the right title, but it was the zombie shooter ones, right? Where you had to type out the word.
Hold on, typing zombie game. It's gonna come up pretty good, pretty quickly, I'm sure. The typing
Typing
of
out
the
the
dead.
dead. Yeah.
Okay.
See? Okay.
Which just sounds like it looks awesome. Oh wow, it's from Sega too.
Yeah, it's their arcade style, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that is right out of the arcade.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, so anyone who's not seen this, like if you're trying to get your kid to type more effectively, it's a zombie shooter. It is a think of any arcade shooter with an actual physical gun,
Yeah.
and you're blasting around some sort of map like zombies or whatever else. Except as opposed to having to shoot, you type words.
Yeah.
You type words, and you have to type the word fully to kill the particular zombie. And man, it's so good at increasing the speed, like and accuracy, and like yeah, if your kid's trying to learn how to type, like this is so cool.
It's just a fun way to do it, right? Like it's you're playing a video game about shooting zombies, but while learning to keyboard, maybe in your own way, but without even really knowing it or trying to get better at it, right? So you'll play the next level. And I can't remember if the words repeated or not. I don't think they did. I think they were random. So even then was like, that's a good way to do it.
There's some pretty intense words. Like I'm seeing gelatinous, brain drain.
It was not a
Thriller.
simple game.
Yeah, this is not an easy game. Like your typing had better be
No.
quite good.
Yeah. Maybe there's a difficulty setting I don't remember where it's just like yes or no's instead of a gelatinous blob or whatever the other one was.
Ugh. Anyways, I'll have to check it out. I own it somewhere, one of those like big Steam sale bundles type of things. So
Oh yeah, that's good thing to check out.
if we ever need to get my kid to learn how to type better, when it comes time to him to learn how to type, this is how we're gonna do it.
It works.
Now, yeah. So we had back to physical space. We had a great moment here at my household where a neighborhood kid came up to our house and like rang the doorbell and asked if my son could play. It's like, hey, can your son come out and play? And that's like the first time. So like, there were these other kids on our little cul-de-sac, and I've wanted so badly for my kid to talk to them.
Yeah.
They're a little off in age, but close enough they could still make it work. I'm like, if you could just be friends with this kid.
You dropping
like,
hints to them? Like you're like, why don't we drive by this house again just to see if they're outside?
Like they are 2 doors down. It would be amazing for them to be on any type of friendship level.
Right.
So one day, because it's a cul-de-sac, all the snow gets pushed just into the middle.
Perfect.
Right of the circle. So it is a perfect death trap to build snow forts. I mean, well, I don't know if you got that same thing, but it is the best snow. It's always so packed. It's awesome. Like it's a perfect pyramid shape. You can build so many tunnels.
Yeah.
But every year there was a news story like 6 kids crushed by snow in a cul-de-sac. Don't let your kids do it.
Yep.
It's like,
damn it.
It's like I get it. Like I understand the risk of it, but also like it's just so much fun. Like it is perfect snow, and it's like, everything is dangerous. Sledding is dangerous, swimming is dangerous, riding your bike is dangerous. Like you got to accept some risk to have some good times.
That's right.
So
Here's Daddy's phone. Go build the
yeah.
mine
In case you're going, I'm gonna train our dog to like be able to dig down avalanche style in case you get trapped under.
Yeah. That works.
Anyways, they're out there. The both of them are out there one day. Both my kids, up and down, like building tunnels, having the time of their life, and the other 2 kids join.
Yo,
in the neighborhood, and it was just like, yes,
it's gonna happen.
then hours and hours, they ended up having a fantastic time. And then the next day, like they come up and like knock on the door, could your kids come out and play? And it was just like success. Like it was amazing. It was so awesome. Like I don't know, can you recall the first time you actually had a physical kid come up to your physical door and ask your physical son
So long ago,
if he
right?
could go play? Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember when kids finally started. Well, they don't ring the doorbell once. I don't know what it is with kids. And then the knocking happens after that on the glass part, not on the the wood part. But yeah, I remember being excited for them and also a little not terrified, but like nervous, like something's gonna happen. And they were just playing on just our front yard and stuff. So we started out small and it was easy enough, but it was this is where the pandemic kind of like silver lining. I don't want the kids to come out and knock on the door and then ask to come inside. Because I'm like, I just want to get rid of my kid and have him go play outside.
I'm trying to
take on
be
more.
rid of burden, not
Right.
that additional burden.
This mental boat is sinking. I want to like get the water out of the boat, not bring more water in. But no, yeah, it's good, and I think it's kind of a relief just to know that your kid can connect with another, or even like learn those social skills, be out there by themselves, and just lay the land, right, and build, snow forts. That's even awesome just in winter. So
Yeah. So it led to, and I'll have some more questions for you, because it led to another situation, which there's kind of a tiny hill at the park that is, I can see it from my house. This park, right?
Like
that's kind of like the distance to where I live.
okay, not like through binoculars or anything, just
No, like I'm talking like less than a minute
blinds.
walk. Like it's just
Okay.
right there.
Yep.
And there's enough of a snow hill that, if you have sleds, you can go at it.
perfect.
So the 4 kids are playing. So these two kids, and they're slightly older too, which actually kind of made me feel better about the whole thing. But they're all playing and having a blast. And I was actually, to begin with, I was there, and I'm just standing there.
Right.
And it's sort of, they're absolutely disregarding me. Like they're playing like I'm basically not there. And I
Sounds familiar. I'm just saying. We don't need you.
but felt terribly nervous about the decision, but I was kind of like, I'm going to leave.
Right. Okay.
Like, you guys know the park, like you understand the rules of the road, you're with 2 older kids. Like, I don't need to be here. Like, I'm just going to trust that you're fine. And I explained the whole thing, that you guys be careful with the roads, like you listen to these older kids, you know where the house is if anything happens.
Right.
Bye. And slowly walked
Bye.
away. Bye. And it felt so like I can't describe, like I'm still even talking about it, I'm not really comfortable talking about it because it almost feels like it's too young in some ways, but it kind of feels like that's something that parents have lost in recent years. Because like I don't know what your childhood was like, but I was definitely like a latchkey kid. It was, as soon as summer rolled around, I think 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever, that age, I mean. Like,
yeah.
I was gone at like 7 in the morning, and I came back at like 5 at night for supper. Like the entire day around town.
Oh yeah, I'll be the same. I was allowed to go around the neighborhood with our neighbors. I was probably 8 at the time, and we went into like forest and underneath like a parkway, and we'd hang out underneath the parkway. Like that was probably totally risky to do. So when we look at modern times now, and you can see where the park is, and you can see your kids playing, that I think we need to give ourselves a break on. Just
So sorry, I will say I can't see them playing from the house. It's just like I can see the park.
okay, yeah.
So it's not, I don't even have eyes on them to be clear of the scenario. And that's why again there's also all these combating. There's my personal stance on it, which I think kids need to be trusted. They need to go out and make mistakes and understand things. There needs to be that separations. We need to be able to make our lives easier in a way of saying, kids, beat it, go outside and play, explore, learn, and not have to be 24-hour nanny. Like, I hate the word nanny, that's not the right way to say it, but 24-hour surveillance on them to make sure that there's no rough edges. So that's that would be my opinion on the matter. Yeah. But then there comes the emotional toll of actually doing it was
the guilt.
Awful.
Yeah.
Because like my principles say I should be fine with this. This is okay. And then as I'm walking away, it's like I'm going to go to jail. Someone's going to call me. Something terrible is going to happen.
You wake up on Skyrim and you're being hauled off to the slaughter.
Oh, good. You're finally awake.
But you know your kids. Like, speaking from my own experience with my kids, they would not be able to handle it. So they are, I think it has to do with their ADHD, which I've talked to like on the show about before. They're just a little bit less mature in that way. So I couldn't let them go and do that until probably a few years later than what you're doing, just from their like maturity rating, if that makes sense. So if you know your kids are responsible enough and will listen and will look both ways on the road, my kids did not at that age, not at all. So it was a little bit different that way. But
Yeah,
There's guilt in everything.
I think I'll say I think it was the fact that the other kids are older.
Yeah.
You know, there was, and these kids I've seen doing this, like as in like they go. These two are like they tromp around the little kind of region on their own all the time.
Yeah, they're regulars. They're recruiting. So.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think about, would I let the two of them go back? Like tomorrow they ask me, can the two of us by ourselves just go over to that hill? It's like that feels a bit off. No,
Yeah.
the two of them, like, they definitely go to the snow pile in front of the house.
Right.
Like that, yeah, like Bob's your uncle. Like, you know what's up with that.
Yeah.
But even with that, it's like, okay, if you're not smart, you're not watching for cars, like, it could be bad. So like,
I gotta threaten no screen time for a week. Okay, I will look both ways.
so it's unbelievably hard to have on paper. It's like, this is what I believe as far as kids and like what they should be allowed to do, and like, you know, build resilient kids, build resilient and independent, confident kids. And then it comes time for them to leave on their own and build up some character, and you're like,
nope.
just like, I'm very conflicted.
So much harder than it was.
I'm just like gripping the door, like tearing it off, like, I don't know. You'll be fine.
Your partner is just like, what are you doing? Fine, just let them go.
It's like, I'll go with them, but it's like, that's not the point. Well, so I'll keep you posted. Like, yeah. Like I said, I don't think they'd go again on their own. If they want those kids, that's totally fine. They're out front all the time. That one's fine. Try to build it up. But curious to any other gaming dads and their opinions on ages for that independence, if they've had similar experiences, or what else gaming dads have gone through.
Did they buy a drone to surveil the area?
That's not bad. That's
right?
Pretty good. That's a nice halfway.
Yeah.
Get your smart device to notify you if my kid drops too hard. I just keep running out. Your son has fallen down. Wow, with that genius app idea, we'll wrap it up. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on our website, newdadgaming.com, or at our Twitter account, @newdadgaming. Do you have a story or an opinion on when it's a good time for your kids to be a bit more independent and go out? Do you have advice for Jeff how to weather the current gameless storm with his kids? Or an example of a older kid coming back to play with you as they get into late teens or even like 20s?
Yeah.
Anything and everything. We love to absolutely love talking to fellow gaming dads. So reach out to us, newdadgaming.com, @newdadgaming. If you like the podcast, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we're really trying this year to increase the signal so we can get acquainted with more gaming dads. So if you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, anywhere where you get your podcasts, and if you can leave a comment and a rating, it helps tremendously. And Jeff and I, we cannot describe how much we really appreciate it. If you have something to promote, we absolutely would love to do so. If you just send us a notice that you've left a rating, and we'll make sure to get it onto the show and out to gaming dads. So absolutely. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming, and until next week, my name is Trevor. Sun's out, guns out, with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And my name's Jeff. I'm developing a kid medical alert bracelet, and my kids are 11 and 8.
As long as it's not the shock one, where if they go too far, they get like a mild shock.
There we go. Perfect. Like a digital leash. We're good. We're good.
And just remember, just because you became a dad
doesn't mean it's game over.